The persistent, low-grade ache in a knee or the morning stiffness in your fingers is not just a sign of getting older. It is a biological signal. It's the quiet, constant hum of inflammation, a process that, when it becomes chronic, can dictate the quality of our days. For decades, science has pointed toward the vibrant golden spice, turmeric, as a powerful natural tool to quiet this hum. However, a critical piece of information is often left out of the conversation. Simply adding turmeric to your diet is, for most people, biologically ineffective. Your body is incredibly efficient at clearing out its active compound before it can ever do its work. In this video, we are going to fix that. We will walk through the simple science of why your body struggles to absorb the benefits of turmeric. More importantly, I will give you the precise, kitchen-tested steps to unlock its full potential, turning this common spice into a reliable ally for your joint health and overall well-being. We will do this safely, clearly, and with methods that you can start using today. Hello, I'm Dr. Daniel Bennett. It's a pleasure to have you here with us. This channel is a space for clear, science-backed health information to help us all live well and feel our best as we age. If that sounds like a community you'd like to be part of, I invite you to subscribe and join the conversation. We learn so much from each other. Let's begin by talking about that word, inflammation. It often gets a bad reputation, but in the short term, it's a lifesaver. When you get a cut or a splinter, your immune system rushes to the scene. You see redness, swelling, and heat. That's acute inflammation. It's your body's brilliant repair crew, cleaning up damage and fighting off invaders. Once the job is done, the crew packs up and goes home. The challenge for many of us, especially over 60, is when that repair crew never fully clocks out. This is called chronic, low-grade inflammation. There's no obvious injury, but deep inside, the body's alert systems are constantly simmering. Think of it like a smoke alarm with a low battery, chirping quietly but persistently in the background. You might not always notice it, but that constant signal creates wear and tear over time. This persistent, low-level alarm is linked to many of the health challenges that concern us. It can contribute to the cartilage breakdown in our joints, leading to the stiffness and discomfort of osteoarthritis. It can affect how our brain functions, sometimes contributing to that feeling of brain fog. It can even impact our cardiovascular health and how our body manages blood sugar. It is the common thread running through many age-related conditions. So, finding gentle, sustainable ways to turn down the volume on this chronic alarm is a cornerstone of healthy aging. This brings us to one of the most well-researched botanicals in history, turmeric. This beautiful, golden orange root has been used in Ayurvedic and traditional medicine for thousands of years. But it's only in recent decades that modern science has begun to understand precisely why it's so effective. The secret lies in a group of compounds called curcuminoids, with the most important and powerful one being curcumin. Curcumin is the star of the show. It is a potent anti-inflammatory and a formidable antioxidant. Let's break down what that really means for your body. As an anti-inflammatory, curcumin works at a molecular level. It can block some of the specific biological pathways and enzymes that trigger that chronic, simmering inflammation. It's like a skilled diplomat arriving on the scene, calmly telling the overactive immune alarm system to stand down. As an antioxidant, it helps protect your cells from damage. Throughout our lives, our bodies are exposed to unstable molecules called free radicals. You can think of them as tiny sparks flying off a fire. If they land on something sensitive, like our cell walls or our DNA, they can cause damage, a process called oxidative stress. Antioxidants are like tiny firefighters that safely neutralize these sparks before they can do any harm. Curcumin is an excellent firefighter, helping to shield our cells from this cumulative damage. For our joints, this means protecting the delicate cartilage that cushions our bones. For our brains, it means protecting our neurons. It's a fundamental, cell-level form of defense. So, we have this incredible, well-studied compound that directly addresses the root issue of chronic inflammation. The science is compelling, and the traditional use is extensive. It seems simple enough. Just eat more turmeric. Unfortunately, this is where the story gets more complicated, and it's the reason why so many people try turmeric and feel absolutely no difference. The central problem is something called bioavailability. It's a technical term, but the concept is simple. It refers to how much of a substance you consume actually gets absorbed into your bloodstream and becomes available for your body to use. Curcumin, on its own, has notoriously poor bioavailability. When you eat turmeric, the curcumin enters your digestive system. But our bodies, particularly our liver, are incredibly efficient at filtering and eliminating foreign compounds. The liver sees curcumin, identifies it as an unfamiliar substance, and rapidly metabolizes it, changing its chemical structure so it can be easily flushed out of the body, often before it has a chance to circulate and exert its benefits. It's like trying to water your garden with a hose that has dozens of large holes in it. You can turn the tap on full blast, but only a tiny trickle of water will ever reach the plants. When you consume plain turmeric powder, a huge percentage of the beneficial curcumin is lost before it ever reaches your systemic circulation. This explains why study after study shows that consuming curcumin by itself, even in large doses, results in very low, sometimes undetectable, levels in the blood. This isn't a myth, it's a well-documented metabolic reality. And this is the hurdle we need to overcome to make turmeric a truly effective tool in our health toolkit. Fortunately, nature has provided an elegant and surprisingly simple solution. The first and most crucial key to unlocking curcumin's power is found in another common spice right next to it on your spice rack: black pepper. The secret ingredient in black pepper is a compound called piperine. It's what gives pepper its characteristic pungent kick. Piperine has a fascinating and very specific effect on our liver. It temporarily inhibits some of the key enzymes that are responsible for breaking down and clearing curcumin from the body. Let's go back to our analogy of the over-efficient filtering system in the liver. Piperine acts like a temporary supervisor that walks into the control room and says, "All right, team, let's take a short break on processing this specific compound." By slowing down that metabolic process, it allows the curcumin to bypass this first, aggressive wave of elimination. It can then pass from the intestines into the bloodstream in much higher concentrations. The effect is not small. It is dramatic. Scientific studies have shown that combining even a small amount of piperine with curcumin can boost its bioavailability by up to 2,000%. That is not a typo. It's the difference between that leaky hose and one that delivers a powerful, steady stream right where you need it. It transforms curcumin from a substance that mostly passes through your body to one that is actively absorbed and put to work. If you find explanations like this helpful for understanding how your body works, a simple tap on the subscribe button ensures you won't miss our future videos where we break down complex health topics into simple, practical steps. To achieve this powerful synergy, you don't need much. The general guideline from research is a ratio of about 1:10 piperine to curcumin. In your kitchen, this is easy to achieve. A good rule of thumb is to add about a quarter teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper for every full teaspoon of turmeric powder. This simple pairing is the first and most important step to making sure you're getting what you came for. Now, here's a quick myth I'd like to address. Some people believe that since turmeric is a root, it's best to consume it raw, perhaps grated into a salad. While fresh turmeric is wonderful, for the purpose of maximizing curcumin's anti-inflammatory benefits, gentle heating can actually be beneficial. Cooking turmeric can help to release the curcuminoids, and more importantly, it makes it easier to combine with our next essential ingredient. The second key to absorption is understanding that curcumin is lipophilic, which is a scientific way of saying it is fat-soluble. It dissolves in fat, not in water. Think of trying to mix oil and vinegar for a salad dressing. They naturally separate. Curcumin behaves in a similar way. It needs fat to be properly absorbed by your body. When you consume curcumin along with a healthy fat, it gets bundled up in the intestines into tiny packages that can be absorbed through the lymphatic system. This is a network of tissues and organs that transport fluids throughout the body. The crucial part of this pathway is that it allows the curcumin to bypass the liver on its first pass. It's like finding a side road that goes around the main traffic jam, allowing the curcumin to enter your general circulation more directly and in higher concentrations. So what kind of fats should you use? We're talking about healthy, natural fats. A teaspoon of coconut oil or extra virgin olive oil is an excellent choice. The healthy fats found in avocado, nuts, seeds, or even a full-fat yogurt or kefir can also do the job beautifully. The goal is simple. Whenever you have turmeric, make sure there's a source of fat alongside it. Combining these two principles, the black pepper and the healthy fat, is the ultimate strategy. You are using the piperine to slow down the liver's breakdown process, and you are using the fat to open up an alternative absorption pathway. Together, they ensure that the maximum amount of curcumin gets into your system where it can go to work, helping to quiet inflammation and protect your cells. So let's translate all of this science into a simple, practical daily routine. One of the most effective and comforting ways to do this is by making what is often called golden milk or a turmeric latte. It's warm, soothing, and it perfectly incorporates all the key elements for absorption. Here is a very simple base recipe. You will need 1 cup of milk. This can be regular dairy milk. Full fat is great here, or an unsweetened plant-based milk like almond, coconut, or oat milk. Pour it into a small saucepan over medium-low heat. Next, add 1 teaspoon of good quality turmeric powder. Then, add your first key, a 1/4 teaspoon of freshly ground black pepper. Finally, add your second key, 1 teaspoon of a healthy fat like coconut oil or a drizzle of almond oil. You can also add other warming spices if you like, such as a 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon or a pinch of ground ginger, which also have their own anti-inflammatory properties. Whisk it all together and gently heat the mixture until it's warm, but not boiling. This takes just a few minutes. Then, pour it into your favorite mug. If you like a little sweetness, a tiny drizzle of honey or maple syrup is a nice touch. Sipping this warm, golden beverage in the morning or before bed is a wonderful ritual that delivers curcumin in its most bioavailable form. But you don't have to make a special drink. You can easily apply these principles to your everyday cooking. If you're making a soup, a stew, or a curry, start by sautéing your onions and garlic in a little olive oil. As they soften, stir in your turmeric and black pepper, letting them bloom in the warm oil for about a minute before you add your other ingredients. This infuses the entire dish with readily absorbable curcumin, making scrambled eggs or a tofu scramble for breakfast. Whisk a 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric and a pinch of black pepper into the eggs before you cook them in a little butter or oil. Roasting vegetables like cauliflower, sweet potatoes, or broccoli. Toss them in olive oil, then sprinkle with turmeric, black pepper, and a little salt before they go into the oven. The possibilities are truly endless. The principle remains the same: turmeric plus pepper plus fat. Now, a word about supplements. The supplement aisle can be overwhelming, but the same rules apply. If you are considering a curcumin supplement, it is not enough for the label to just say turmeric. Look for a formula that is specifically designed for high absorption. This means the label should explicitly mention that it includes piperine, often trademarked as bioperine, or that it uses another technology, like binding the curcumin to fats or phospholipids, to enhance bioavailability. A cheap capsule of plain turmeric powder will likely face the same absorption issues as the spice in your cupboard. As with any new supplement, it is essential to discuss it with your doctor first. This leads us to some important safety considerations. While turmeric is incredibly safe for most people when consumed as a culinary spice, there are a few situations where caution is warranted, especially with concentrated supplements. Curcumin can have a mild blood-thinning effect. If you are taking anticoagulant medications like warfarin, Coumadin, or even daily aspirin, it's very important to talk to your healthcare provider before you start taking a concentrated curcumin supplement. They need to be aware of anything that could affect your clotting time. It can also stimulate bile production, which is generally a good thing for digestion. However, if you have gallstones or a bile duct obstruction, increasing bile flow could cause problems. Again, this is a conversation to have with your doctor. Finally, because of its effects on blood clotting, most surgeons will recommend that you stop taking turmeric or curcumin supplements about 2 weeks before any scheduled surgery. Consuming it in food is generally fine, but concentrated doses should be paused. The guiding principle is always to keep your doctor in the loop about the supplements you are taking. Communication is key to safety. As you start to consistently incorporate well-absorbed curcumin into your routine, the changes you notice might be subtle at first. It's not a painkiller that works in 30 minutes. It's a gentle, systemic modulator of inflammation. You might notice that you wake up with a little less stiffness in your hands. Perhaps that nagging ache in your knee feels a bit duller after a walk. You might even find that your thinking feels a bit clearer. These are the signs that you are nourishing your body at a cellular level, turning down that persistent inflammatory hum, one golden meal or drink at a time. Taking charge of our health as we age is not about grand, sweeping changes. It's about the small, intelligent, and consistent choices we make every single day. Understanding how to unlock the power of a simple spice like turmeric is a perfect example of this. It's a quiet act of self-care, grounded in both ancient wisdom and modern science. You now have the knowledge not just to use turmeric, but to use it effectively. Remember this simple formula: turmeric plus a pinch of black pepper plus a healthy fat. This small bit of kitchen chemistry can make a world of difference. Thank you so much for investing this time in your well-being today. I would love to hear from you in the comments below. What is your favorite way to use turmeric in your cooking? Sharing your ideas helps our whole community learn and grow. If you found this guide clear and helpful, please give the video a like and consider subscribing and sharing it with a friend who might benefit. Our goal here is to build a trusted resource for all of us navigating our health journey. Be well, stay curious, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.